I'm just near the Macedonian and Serbian borders. Let's say south of Kustendil. Yeah, I really noticed that it's pretty remote. You can truly see it in everything. There's a lot of, basically Western Bulgaria. Kustendil area has a lot of abandoned villages, a lot of depopulation in general. Like you can see here, the Lada is still parked on the pavements. Like there's a lot of depopulation in Bulgaria, but some places you feel it more than others. Like there's towns that are completely abandoned, but it somehow feels more real if you're in a town that is half abandoned, let's say. Like this block is still inhabited. The car still probably drives as well, but when there's actually still signs of life, but half of the town is, let's say, taken out, you see the contrast more than in a town that is completely empty and deserted. So that's why I'm more interested in towns that are half-half, so I can see the effects and study that. It's interesting. You see a little old embankment to the river. This was probably built in the communist era, because they did a lot of this sort of things. It used to be nice stones, probably little benches with wood that's now taken off, the wood. See? You could just sit here, relax. Well, you still can, but it's hardly the same atmosphere. So this actually used to be nice. I'll just tell you that I use the iPhone to film and have another phone for using the apps and navigation. And I use the application InShot on the iPhone itself, with which I film to edit all of the videos. Now some more interesting things is that for example, here you see the old store, which is now closed, but you can see that there's still old bottles and stuff. Otzet, which is like vinegar. It's all very, very old stuff, but it's closed. They used to have Stokkies, Namalenice, so like it's a discounted products. Plot Izlanchuk, which is fruits and vegetables. See some old chairs still standing. And the shelves are empty. You see the glass is destroyed. Everything is just come to a standstill in this village. See? It's too bad, I guess. Here used to be a sort of knitting salon or a workspace, I guess. You see a lot of old tools here. Sewing machine and stuff. Oh, it's a museum. I guess it doesn't attract a lot of visitors right here. Well, anyway, we see an old. We have a lot of good examples here of the bygone era. Let's see what this is. This is celodnevna deska rodiny. This is used to be a kindergarten. It will be interesting to go in. I'm not going to. Here we see studena bira, cold beer, toplaska, which is warm grilled meat. Let's say old restaurant which is closed. You can still see the bottles, everything. Fruit juice, see an old poster, stove, the bar. Like it probably didn't close too long ago. but it's gone, unfortunately. Old houses. Up there is a school. Abandoned as well. Основно училище Отец Пайси. So this was a pretty big school, a main school, head school, let's say, and it's actual. This used to be a village of significance because it has everything. It's on the border area, and it's a shame that it's all gone. There's almost no children there. Too bad. Beautiful building. Let's look around a bit here. The school that's by sea. Used to be a pink building. I like that. And here's the head entrance, which used to have a beautiful wooden door, high window frames. Stairs that go up, wooden doors. That's it. And now it's gone. This is for the shoes, to rub off the snow or the ice or the mud, let's say. You can imagine this used to be a very significant building and school. A very nice village, or at least in terms of history, because I can show you a lot of things. So here, I don't know what this is. It could be just a side building of the school, don't know exactly. Doesn't really matter. Here's the back of the school. And up there's a church with a bell tower, which I'm going to show you. And when a village depopulates, it is often the school that is abandoned at first, because there's no more kids. And then the last thing that's abandoned is always a church, which is always still renovated until the last person dies or leaves. Because the church is where the old people still go. And church is always the last thing standing in a village, let's say. You can imagine that a lot of children here had beautiful childhoods. Speaking of the, let's say, ideology, let's say when it was socialist here that it was better. I don't know, I wasn't there. But there's probably a whole lot of children here who had carefree childhoods, who still live in this village, or who are abroad. Sometimes they will probably still think back to the school. You can almost see them running in the street, running home after the bell rings, and they're off to go home to their parents. I can just imagine that it was full of people here, and now it's over. It's kind of a shame, because if you look at the village, I know the situation is very common in Bulgaria and the Balkans, but you look at it, yeah, it's kind of nice. Like, what's missing here? Work, okay. But there's food, there's water, there's everything else. So why can't we make life work here? Why can people make life work in Egypt, around the Nile River, where they have dirty water, at least downstream, heavily industrialized, or at least agriculturalized, with 150 million people, all on top of each other by the river Nile. And why can't we make it work here, in a piece of land that's basically heaven on earth? Because if you look at it, it is. There's nothing wrong with the land. A lot of people around the Nile in Egypt they would kill for these green pastures to make their fruits, their vegetables, make a living for themselves. And here it lies abandoned. There's even houses you can just jump right into. Why doesn't life work here? Well, there's no work, there's no money. But really, would it be feasible that we just solve this? Well, difficult question, and one of the painful points of discussion on the Balkans. Either way, I'm just showing you that everything lies in front of us and just need to grasp the opportunities. See, church is still maintained. It is unfortunately closed. But what an interesting village this. One of the best examples that I could show you. Because it has everything from beginning to end. Let's look up a bit more. We have the notices of people who have passed away, which is an endless list over the many years. Up there is a cemetery. Life is very short and cruel, let's say. There's a cat. Let's walk up to the cemetery. And even that is in decay, with trash piled up, the grass growing tall. That's a shame. Out of respect, I'm not going to film the graves, but just wanted to show you the state of decay. And that really, we could make something out of this if only we wanted to. Either way. Used to be the bus stop. And now we have parties, let's say about 21 for a country with rules or regulations, let's say. So apparently that's what a lot of people wish for. At least it's a sort of slogan. This used to be the Gorsko Stopanstvo, and the control, like say a checkpoint. This village is called Vaksevo, and here used to be, let's say, the forest administration, which used to be a big thing in socialist times. It says, well, keep the forest clean because they're yours. At least we still have the forest. But this village truly had it all. And here I'll show you some very nice examples of houses. This one I'm not sure is abandoned. It's a very, very pretty example. Of course, it's past glory, but this house, this type, is a rich man's house. Used to be. Because there's 3 floors, even the attic can be used as a room. It even has more than 1 balcony, and right there as well. Under that you can store tools, let's say. It's a shame that it's left to abandonment. Balcony, wooden window frames, the doors still in relatively good shape. It could be renovated, but this is for sure around 100 years old, this house. It's too bad, it's in a good shape. This one probably abandoned, but not with certainty. I guess it is. You can just see how it is, It's still intact, it hasn't collapsed, which is quite interesting. You rarely see a village with all of the examples in one. So here's a sort of shed, workroom, where you can process food, let's say, especially meat, needs some treatment. These used to be pretty big farms, and here you have probably the collectivized sort of farms, or at least the industrial scale production sites where they used to, I don't know, it could be anything, but more likely these were just agricultural sites. You can see that old truck in the back, the front, to let's say do harvest on a more massive scale. Some very good examples. All of this is completely abandoned. See? And not too long ago, this is definitely from socialist times. And I'm sure that at least a part of it is still used. But on a smaller, more personal scale, let's say. And this is all, you see, used to be sort of production sites. It's in remarkably good shape. But all of it has stopped working. In the back you see some mills as well. There's still cows, so for sure it is still partly used. Could be meat production farms, anything. I wish I could have seen it when this village was alive, Vaksevo. But that's too late. If you just look at the green hills surrounding this place, it's an absolute paradise. You have peace, quiet, fresh air. You're near Serbia, near Macedonia. Not too far from Sofia, you're near Kustendil, Belgorod. Why not make this, let's say, okay, it's not my country, but this could be some economic powerhouse of agriculture and whatnot, of agro-tourism. We have Sofia airport nearby. Like you can make a sort of thing with the three countries, let's say a tourism pact where you can just cross the borders and do agriculture here, there and there in Serbia and Macedonia. See the differences, see the similarities and all there is to see, because it's completely undiscovered and you can do it in a pact with Kustendil, with Trn, with the Trn Gorge, with a lot of canyons around. You can do like homestays. Make a big hotel of the old school. Make it the first countries to restart tourism after COVID. So where this Lada is driving on the terrain is probably to the production sites, at least part of it, which I guess is still, like I said, in use. It's probably private terrain, so I will not go on. You can just see this land, it's near the Struma river, is very arable. This is top quality land. Yeah, probably now it's used for a wood facility to cut wood, see? So that's not really where you should film because they're a bit picky about that. About wood seizing and reporting on that. It's not my topic of interest in either way. My personal stance is that there's enough wood in Bulgaria for ourselves and for everyone to be warm in winter and to build houses and furniture. But whether it's used for other purposes, I don't have a full view. I guess some of it is exported, not used for very durable purposes. But it's not my task to be so mindful about that. I wish people would take their own country back in hands because when I walk through a village like this, I feel a bit of a sense of shame, and I'm not even from here. I haven't let it decay. I didn't even know this existed. But I know that the people who built this school, they probably lay right there on the cemetery, which is lined with trash. They will probably turn around in their graves if they saw it. Like if... I'm glad they don't have to see it. They won't be very happy. That's the tough reality. That's life. I also understand that it cannot be maintained. No work, no money. I get it. But it still hurts, and that needs to be said. It's a shame. It could be one of the most beautiful places in Europe to live. But it's gone. Well, it's still here until you pick up the opportunity with your bare hands, let's say. Here's another remarkable example of it used to be a pretty wealthy house. Still standing, 1937. See? Up there. It's if you want to see a village that has it all, or just like a very interesting place to see, come to Vaksevo, because it has, you can see the different styles of houses. Nature is good. You have different layers of history, let's say. See, you have remarkable examples of untouched things, like, of course it's decayed, but it hasn't been touched. See, the cars are still there. It's an open air museum, and that's very interesting, and I don't see that very often, where it hasn't been plundered, let's say. See? Wow, look at these skeletons of cars. I don't know what, but there's something about this village. Vaksevo. It's an old Fort Mondeo from Belgium there, the Belgium bumper sticker. Just laying there. Oh, I wish I could see everything in this area. It's a good choice to come here. Have the blossoming trees. There's someone sitting over there. There's still some people left. It's very interesting, this place. I guess this is again the Struma River here on the left. Must be. It's all types of agriculture here. Woman probably watches the sheep or the goats. It's a very, very interesting place. You probably think, what about it? But I've seen a lot of Bulgarian villages. This is one of the most remarkable ones because of everything it has. Everything featured into one village, and everything has remained as it was. And it hasn't been renovated either. Like, it's a good example because in a lot of villages you at least see that the square has been renovated. But this one is 100% old style and nothing has been done, which is what I kind of dig. Like, okay, the village should be saved, but I kind of like that I get to see it in the old way. And I hope that now at least someone will come save it. I don't know what it is, but I really do have a heart for this country. I don't think any place could intrigue me this much. Look at that on the left. Bulgaria gives so many emotions that it's hard to fathom. At times. Look, just the amount of work that went into this, that's gone to waste. Here I can see at least. I don't know if this is still used. Probably not. See, I have a heart for Bulgaria because it has it all. But now the most essential thing is lacking, and that's the people. If you see what I mean. I don't know if there's somebody still here. I see clothes hanging there. At least the main house is probably still inhabited by a pensioner, because I see work clothes in the shed. But it's probably a single lady on her last leg, let's say. It used to be a family house, sort of little ranch, but yeah, that's crumbling apart as well, because the garden, this used to be a big vegetable garden, which is now yeah, left to decay, has not been maintained. And I see like a notice on the door that says someone has passed away, so it's most likely that the last person has left this beautiful green planet, let's say, and this is left. All the hard work is left to fate. Very sad. The main house, which is not that old. So what you can see is that these used to be older houses. These are like 100 years old, let's say 80. And this one was built next to it when the family grew and they had some money. And eventually that's where the family went to live, in the big house. And then these old ones end up as sheds, let's say. And but absolutely these were initial houses in their original form, made of tuchli, these clay bricks. Clay probably comes straight from the river. And this is an actual old cart. I didn't recognize it at first, but it's a cart. Here's a friendly dog, I guess. Hello. Old cart. See, I do have a sort of heart for Bulgaria, because it just triggers a lot of emotion inside me. All types. And here you have a very, let's say, sinister looking forest. At least I can imagine that when it storms, this is a very emotional place to have a walk. Because you have the river, the Struma, which is one of the longest rivers on the Balkans. Make no mistake. It probably carries some mythology as well that I'm not necessarily aware of. But Struma is quite an important river for Bulgaria. In the Netherlands this wouldn't be anything. This would be like a little creek. But in Bulgaria, Struma is a major river, make no mistake. Carries some energy. Like, I'm not a very mystical person, but I feel that it carries energy and some mysticality, let's say. It's probably brought a lot of wealth to this area, or at least a lot of life energy, I think. We have another shed that is just left to hang like that. See? It's just wow. I wish you could explore some more, but I need to move on because I have to finish the road trip for the day. Find a hotel where I'll end up. It is 5:30. I have some more driving to do. Want to explore some more. We'll probably end up in Kustendil for the night, which is okay, I guess. Been there, done that, but I like this area. I think Kustendil region There's a lot of things in store if you're a true explorer. Like, nobody goes there ever. It's not a place where you go on a vacation or even to explore. Like, I've gone through it, but it carries a mystical energy which I cannot bring into words. I've been to areas in Bulgaria where I haven't felt that, in the sense that I didn't necessarily feel it in Blagoevgrad. I do feel it in Balasica and Petric. I didn't feel it in Montana, for example, or the mountains there. Although I did feel it in Vrkopren, which is a very mystical mountain, if you ask me. But there are some places where you feel it more than others, if you see what I mean. There's another pensioner over there. These people just live alone here, just getting by on a daily basis. And it's very hard, I guess. Anyway, I'm not going to do too much interviews right now, let's say. That's mostly because of the COVID thing. Like, no matter what you believe or say, I cannot go live life in Sofia, do the gym, do boxing, have hookups, because that's essentially what I do. Live my life, and then go to a village, come in someone's home where people are just holding on to their last string of life, let's say. I can't ethically do that. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night because it's not that I'm sick, but you never know. From the pensioners I keep at least I wouldn't go inside with them. I can't. It's just gotta be very careful. Like, don't pull the devil still, and don't push your luck. That's what I would say. Look at these blossoming trees. Just these cars, it fascinates me. The village has an energy that I haven't felt since quite some time. There's an old house as well. Clock's still working. Albeit on a wrong time. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. See him with Lada. Oh well. Interesting place. Really. It's real nice with the 3 old doors. Nice blue water. Here on the right is the post office, which is not too old. Maybe from like 1980, 1999, the decade, let's say. See? It's probably still open. We have the Slatkanica and the restaurant. I'm not going to film too much because people will get bothered. So, time to move on.